Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So coming back to the class. So what is a list? Again, so list, it is similar to your array. It consists of a group of elements belonging to different data types. A list is always represented by a set of square brackets. In a list, the elements are accessed in both positive indexing and negative indexing. By using positive indexing and negative indexing. So coming to a tuple, what is the difference between a tuple and a list? I want to hear from you people. Please switch on your videos. B2, roll number 82, C4, everybody please switch on your videos. A7, C4. Emotondamma? Why your video is off? Am I audible? Everybody please switch on your videos. ఇంకా నేను చెప్పనమ్మా, అందరికీ అబ్సెంట్ చేస్తాను చెప్తున్నాను. ఎవరి వీడియో అయితే ఆఫ్ చేసిందో కానీ అటెండెన్స్ రోల్స్ కూడా తీసుకోను. ఎవరి వీడియో అయితే ఆఫ్ చేసిందో వాళ్ళందరికీ అబ్సెంట్ చేస్తాను. ప్లీజ్ స్విచ్ ఆన్ యువర్ వీడియోస్. So what is a tuple? Please respond. What is a tuple? ఏంటమ్మా ఎవరు లేరా? మీరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వకపోతే నాకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది చెప్పండి? కంటిన్యూ చేయాలా వద్దా అని?
Tuples are also container data types.
Very good. Tuples are also container data types similar to your list. They also hold heterogeneous data types.
They do not have a definite order, and they are immutable.
No. They are ordered collection because that is the reason we can apply slicing and indexing on tuples. But they are immutable. So whatever the contents that are in tuple, they cannot be modified. So that is the reason we cannot apply the methods like insert, remove, pop on tuples because the contents of the tuple cannot be changed. And you cannot use the method extend. Okay, is that clear? And you cannot delete a tuple. So whenever you want to create a tuple, you should store a data in such a way that the data which need not be modified, such kind of data should be incorporated in a tuple, which can be only accessed on demand. So no modification is allowed on a tuple. Is it clear? A tuple is always represented by a set of parentheses and the elements of a tuple are separated by commas. So whenever you say a parenthesis with a single element, it is not considered as a tuple unless it is followed by a comma. Is that okay? The elements of a tuple are always accessed similar to your list using positive indexing and also negative indexing. Slicing can also be done on tuples. Okay, is that clear? So we can use the methods like index and count on tuples. The count function will always give you the how many number of times a particular element is repeated in the tuple. Similarly, the index is a function which is going to always return the index of the element which is inputted. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever the set of square brackets which we are using to access the elements, that is known as a subscript operator. ఇది మీరు అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలమ్మా. You have to use this term subscript. ఏదైతే square brackets ఉంటుందో for accessing an element, that is known as a subscript operator. Okay, so whenever similar to your list, you can also reverse the contents of your tuple. Somebody please go on mute. Somebody's microphone is on.
బానే ఉంది ఓకే అని చెప్తున్నాను అందుకే.
C0 88 amma, your microphone, please switch off your microphone. Please disable it. C0. Rajiv. Okay, so coming back to the class. So whenever similar to your list, the contents of the tuple can also be reversed using the slicing operator : ::1. So the contents of the tuple will get reversed. Okay. ఏమైనా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేశారా మా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్? ఏం లేదా? Please respond.
Ma'am?
Yeah. Did you practice any? Yeah, please.
What are subscript methods?
Not subscript methods. I'm saying whatever the square brackets which you are using to access the elements of a tuple or a list, it is known as a subscript.
Okay.
A square brackets ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో which you are using to access the elements of a list or a tuple, it is known as subscript. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So you can also concatenate two tuples, and also you can repeat the contents of a tuple. You know how to concatenate two lists and tuples using a plus operator. Okay. Similarly, using an asterisk operator, you can repeat the contents of the both tuple and a list. Okay, so you cannot apply a method sort on tuple because the contents of the tuple are immutable. So whenever you want to sort the contents of the tuple, first of all, you have to change the data type of the tuple to a list. After that, you can apply a sort method on a list. After that, again, you should typecast it back to tuple data type. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we move on to sets now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, a set is an unordered collection of elements. Please remember, set is an unordered collection of elements, and a set will not allow any duplicates. So you cannot have any duplicate elements in a set, and set is an unordered collection of elements. And one more most important thing is, because sets happen to be unordered, you cannot apply any slicing or indexing operations on sets. Let's see an example of a set. So what is the definition of a set? Set is another data structure which is supported by Python. These sets are same as lists, but with a difference that the sets are, they will not allow any duplicate entries. Technically, a set is a mutable. It is an unordered collection of items. Am I clear? So set is, what are the salient points of the set? These sets are unordered collection. They are similar to your list. They can be mutable, but the thing is they are unordered and they will not allow any duplicates. So any duplicate values are not allowed in a set. And a set is always represented with a set of curly brackets. And all the elements of a set, they are separated by commas. So whenever you want to create a set is created with a built-in function set with followed by a set of parentheses. Am I clear or you want me to repeat? Please respond.
Clear, ma'am.
Clear.
Clear,
Okay.
ma'am.
Fine. So this is the syntax to create a set. So set, you can give the name of the set. It is a set of flower braces and all the elements in a set, they are separated by commas. So a set similar to your lists and tuples, it can also hold heterogeneous data type. So now your set, yes, it is holding the data types, an integer, float, and also a string data type. And you are trying to print the set. So the contents of the set are displayed here. So whenever you want to create an empty set, you can write S is equals to followed by a set of parentheses. Okay, since sets are unordered, so indexing has got no meaning to apply on a set. So it will not allow the users to access or change an element using slicing or indexing. ఇదొకటి రాసుకోవాలమ్మా మీరు. You have to copy this down. See, even my video off. Roll number 66, your video is off. 84. 89, 91, A0.
మ్యామ్ ఏ నోట్ ఆన్ చేసాం.
ఇప్పుడు ఆన్ చేశారు, ఇందాక ఆఫ్ లో ఉంది నేను అన్నాక. 97.
ఆన్ చేసే ఉంది కదా మ్యామ్ ఎప్పటి నుంచో.
A0 ఆఫ్ లో ఉంది చూడండి అమ్మా ఒకసారి, నాకు ఇక్కడ ఆఫ్ లో కనపడుతుంది. సారీ.
97.
Yes, it is 97. Yes. A1, A2 video off అమ్మా. B0, your video is off. B4, B6, C0, 71, 86, A9, B7. ఎప్పుడు వీడియో ఆన్ ఉండేది ఆకాష్ ఒకటి. కాషిఫ్ వీడియో విల్ బి ఆన్ ఆల్వేస్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
తర్వాత రోల్ నెంబర్ A9, అతని వీడియో కూడా ఎప్పుడు ఆన్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. అయిపోయిందమ్మా. ఆర్ యు డన్? కెన్ ఐ మూవ్ ఆన్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I move on to the next slide, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
Okay. ఇది కొద్దిగా హైలైట్ చేసి రాసుకోండమ్మా. సెట్స్ ఆర్ అన్ఆర్డర్డ్, ఇండెక్సింగ్ హ్యాస్ నో మీనింగ్. Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Ma'am, 8, ma'am.
Okay. Can I move on? Please respond. Can I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the different set of methods which are applicable on sets. Let's see it with an example for each method. Here I have created a set S1. So whenever I try to print the type of S1, I'll get the data type as set. So here I am trying to create the set S1 with a set of elements. So whenever I try to print S1, I'll be getting all the set of elements of this set S1. Similarly, S2 I have created and I am trying to print the elements of S2. So in both these sets, there are two types of membership operators we have already discussed with lists. So that is in and not in operators. So whenever I say any element, whether it is plus, and if I try to print L2 in S1, it returns true. So here, whenever I am trying to say print 12 in S1, so 12, please check the set S1 has got the element 12. So that is the reason it is displaying it as true. Similarly, whenever I say 34 in S2, because 34 element it is not present in your set S2, so it is displaying it as false. 34 not in S2. So please observe the elements of the set S2. 34 is not in S2, so that is true. So it is returning a true value. Here, see here, S3 is a tuple. Please observe carefully. Why S3 is a tuple? Because it is containing. So whenever I try to convert here, I'm trying to typecast it to a set data type. So these kind of typecasting is also possible. So whenever I try to print S4, so it is printed in the form of a set. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to make a note of it or it's not required? Can I move on to the next slide? I think at this point you can manage, right? The basic part. Can I move
Yes,
on
ma'am.
or you want to make a copy of it?
No need, ma'am.
Yeah. So coming to the next slide. So you have, these are the methods which are applicable on your sets. So you have here set S1 and I'm trying to add an element here 100. So add is a method whenever I want to add any element to the set. So I can say S1 dot add and I'm trying to print the contents of my set S1. So here please observe 100 is added to your set. Whenever I say S1 dot clear, similar to your list, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whenever I say S1 dot clear, all the elements of the set are cleared, and whenever I try to print S1, I'm going to get an empty set. Please observe here. Similarly, a remove method, somebody's microphone is on. Any doubts, or can I move on? So whenever I say remove method, it will work in a similar fashion with list tuples. Similarly on sets also, whenever you want to remove an element, you can use this remove method. So it is S2 dot remove followed by the element. So that particular element will be removed, and whenever you try to print the contents of S2, the contents of S2 are displayed here. Okay. So these are the different types of operations which are applicable only on sets. If you observe here, I have taken an example for S1 and S2. So whenever I say S2 is subset of S1, that means S2 is contained in your S1. You know what is a subset and superset in mathematics. Am I clear? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever I am trying to say S2 is subset of S1, because all the contents of your S2 are contained in S1. Please observe the example S1 and N2, S2. So that is the reason it is returning the Boolean value true here. Similarly, whenever I say S1 is the superset of S2, because S1 is a superset here and S2 is a subset of S1. Did you remember the mathematical notation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So similarly, the same operation we are applying here. So it is S1 dot E superset of S2. It returns the Boolean value true. So you know what is a union operation?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, like we are doing E subset E superset dot union is all right. Should we import math for these?
No, not required. Not required. You can execute all these commands. You need not import any package for this.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So whenever I say S1 dot union of S2, so here you can see that whatever the duplicate items, those duplicate items are not repeated in your union operation. So in this method, both S1 and S2, whatever the unique elements, they are all represented in this union method. You can observe this. Similarly, whenever I say S1 dot intersection of S2, so whatever the elements which are common to both the sets S1 and S2 are displayed here. So 12, 13 and 14 are repeated in both the sets. So all the three elements are displayed here. And please remember, whenever I say S1 dot difference of S2, this is nothing but your A minus B operation. If you recollect the concept of sets, oka Venn diagram ni meeru okkasari recollect cheskunte, you will be representing the sets in the form of a Venn diagram. Whenever you say A minus B, the whole content of the B is subtracted. Can you please recollect that in your mathematics? So similar thing is happening here. The whole S2, it is subtracted from the set S1, and only the elements which are only present in S1 are displayed here. That is 15 and 16. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Whereas symmetric difference, whenever you use this method, symmetric difference, so you are going to get the unique elements of both S1 and S2. See here, from S1, whatever the common elements, they are not displayed. Whatever the uncommon elements, 16 and 15 are uncommon. Please observe here. So they are displayed because set happens to be unordered collection. They are not in an order. So it has displayed in a random way. Similarly, 5 and 6, they are uncommon in both the sets S1 and S2. So these set of elements are displayed here. Am I clear? So that is the difference between difference method and symmetric difference method. In symmetric difference, please observe it is A minus B. So only the unique elements of A are displayed in difference function method. Whereas in the case of symmetric difference, the unique elements of both sets S1 and S2 are displayed here. Am I clear? Or you want me to repeat?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you please make a note of it? Union, whatever the common elements in both the sets S1 and S2, that is not displayed here. If you take S1, 12, 13, 14 is displayed because these are the common elements in both the sets, followed by you have 5, 6 and also 15, 16. So no element is repeated here. It is similar to your union operation in mathematics. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I move on? '99, please mute your microphone. Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, can I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See here, similar to your list, a set you can also use looping using sets. You can see here x into x is your expression. Please recollect the previous syntax: expression followed by a for loop followed by an if condition true is equals to true. Can you please recollect that comprehension definition? That definition is applicable even to your sets here. So whenever I say x into x for x in range of 1, 11, here I am trying to use the range function here. The range function here, the index starts from 1 and it ends till 11 minus 1, that is 10, with a step count of 1 by default. So here it is going to, the elements of the set are here. So these are the elements who we are trying to display the squares of the numbers here. Please observe it is unordered collection. In list, you can get an ordered collection. Am I clear? Please respond.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please tell me.
randomization is easy in sets only, na, ma'am?
Yes, randomization is easy in sets.
Okay.
So Similarly, I am creating one more set, that is S1, for all the elements of n. For n in S, I am trying to use the same set, whatever the elements I have created in this set, I am trying to make use of in the second operation. So for each and every element, I am taking from the set S, and I am trying to compare it with an if condition, and I am trying to display only the elements which are greater than 20 and less than 40. So I have created a new set S1 here. Please observe here, and I am taking the input from each and every element of the set. Yes, I am trying to take it as an input to my S1. And for each element, I am trying to compare whether it fits between the range of 20 and 40. So whatever the elements which are greater than 20 and less than 40 should be displayed. So this is the output I got. So the elements of the set after deletion, I got it as 25 and 36 because they are within the range greater than 20 and less than 40. So I am using the same comprehension definition which I have used in lists and also in tuples. Am I clear? Or you want me to repeat?
Clear, ma'am.
See here, in list, we have taken the comprehension of list. It is always defined as expression followed by your for loop followed by your if condition. Can you recollect it, or shall I'll just move on to the previous slide so that you can recollect it. Looping on less here. Please go through this carefully. It is expression followed by your for item in iterable if condition is true. This is the definition. So whenever we want to use a loop on a list, similar same definition we are trying to use in the context of your set. Somebody please go on mute. Your microphone is on. Please check your microphone. Okay, so coming back to your sets here. So similar comprehension I can use even with sets whenever I try to use a loop. Similarly, see, look here, S is your set. So here, this is your expression followed by a for loop. Okay, so what is your expression? I'm trying to compute the square of a number. And these numbers I'm trying to generate using this range function. You know, range function always has a start index here 1 followed by a end index minus 1. Our end index is 11. So it is going to take all the elements from 1 to 10 with a step count of 1. Okay, so I'm trying to generate the square of each and every number, and I'm trying to display it using your print function. So elements of the set I'm trying to print here. Why they are not in an order? Because in set it is an unordered collection. So it has displayed it in a random form. You can observe this. See here, 64 means it is the square of 8. 1 is the square of 1. So it is an unordered collection of the elements. Same set, I am using it in the next statement in I am trying to create one more set, that is S1. So I'm taking each element of this SS. So here and using a loop. So for n in S, I am trying to generate only the elements which are fitting into the range greater than 20 and less than 40. So those kind of elements I'm trying to display in your set S1. So whatever the elements which are out of this range, they are not displayed in your set S1. So the elements of the set after deletion are 25 and 36. So 25 is your 5 square and 36 is your 6 square. I am not able to, I cannot include the rest of the elements because they are out of the range. Am I clear? Please
Yes,
respond.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, I want you to please make a note of it. Everybody, please practice. It will not take more than 15 minutes. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to go with the lab. In order to do lab, you should be very thorough with these basics. Otherwise, you cannot code. Can I move on to the next slide? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone. Okay. Okay. Fine. So this is one more example for a set. Here, tags, I have taken here 3 types of strings here, if you observe it. So I am trying to convert each string into a lowercase. For this, I need a loop in order to traverse the elements of this set. So here I repeat, tags is a set consisting of 3 strings. So in order to traverse these strings one after the other, I need a loop. For this, again, I am trying to take a for loop. So each string, it is converted into lowercase using the function lower here. So I am trying to print all the strings. So all the strings are converted into lowercase and they are displayed here. Am I clear? Or you want me to respond? Or you want me to repeat? Here, tag is a variable. You can say in exact technical terms, I have taken this is nothing but an object, and dot lower is a function which is used to convert each string into its corresponding lowercase. So using a for loop, I am trying to traverse the contents of your set. The name of your set is tags here. Am I clear? Am I clear? Or you want me to repeat?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So coming to the next example, again, I have taken a set here. Okay, so I am trying to generate one more set with all the unique elements. So for this, so this is your, again, coming to the same syntax. This is the expression followed by your for loop, followed by a if condition. So here the variable is here element. For each element in the set, yes, you are trying to display all the elements which are less than 40. Okay, so I'm trying to display all the elements which are less than 40 here. And I'm trying to display the contents of the new set, that is unique 40. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Less than 40.
Yes. You just make a note of only the program, this tax program, not the other one. Because I see some error here, because it should not accept the duplicates here. This I think I need to check and I'll let you know in the next class. Please don't copy the second one. Please copy only the first one. Must be a list. Somebody please go on mute. One second. Is it visible? Yeah, it is working, but it is not obeying the logic, right? Try to print the contents of yes. Are you able to print the contents of yes? Roll number 91. Actually, it also worked, but when I observe now, okay. So you should take it as a list, I guess. S should be taken as a list. Please try with that. You replace this flower braces with a square bracket. Yeah, for me also no error. I don't see any error in that. Did you finish copying? Please respond. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please give your attendance. Roll number 66.
Present, ma'am.
67. 67 amma.
Present, ma'am.
68.
Present, ma'am.
69.
Present, ma'am.
70.
Present, ma'am.
71. 71. 72.
Present, ma'am.
73.
Present, ma'am.
74.
Present, ma'am.
75.
Present, ma'am.
76.
Present, ma'am.
77.
Present, ma'am.
78. 79. Please go on mute. Please check your microphone. 79.
Present, ma'am.
80.
Present, ma'am.
81.
Present, ma'am.
82.
Present, ma'am.
83.
Present, ma'am.
84.
Present, ma'am.
85.
Present, ma'am.
86.
Present, ma'am.
87.
Present, ma'am.
88. 89.
Present, ma'am.
89.
Present, ma'am.
90. 91.
Present, ma'am.
92.
Present, ma'am.
93. 94.
Present, ma'am.
95.
Present, ma'am.
96.
Present, ma'am.
97.
Present, ma'am.
98.
Present, ma'am.
99.
Present, ma'am.
A0.
Present, ma'am.
A1.
Present, ma'am.
A2.
Present, ma'am.
A3.
Present, ma'am.
A4.
Present, ma'am.
A5.
Present, ma'am.
A6.
Present, ma'am.
A7.
Present, ma'am.
A8. A8. A9.
Present, ma'am.
B0. B1. B2.
Present, ma'am.
B3. B4.
Present, ma'am.
B5.
Present, ma'am.
B6.
Present, ma'am.
B7.
Ma'am,
Present,
present, ma'am. He is present, ma'am.
B8.
He is unable to unmute.
B8.
Present, ma'am.
B9.
Present, ma'am.
C0.
Present, ma'am.
C1.
Present, ma'am.
C2.
Present, ma'am.
C3.
Present, ma'am.
C4.
Present, ma'am.
C5.
Present, ma'am.
C6.
Present, ma'am.
C7.
Present, ma'am.
C8.
Present, ma'am.
88 present, ma'am.
Ma'am, 93 present, ma'am.
ఒక్క నిమిషం అమ్మా C8 ప్రెసెంటా కాదా
Ma'am. Present.
ఓకే C9.
Present, ma'am.
D0.
Present, ma'am.
ఓకే ఇప్పుడు ఒకసారి absentees చెక్ చేసుకోండి అమ్మా 78 90 93 B0
Ma'am,
B1
93 present, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Everamma,
B not also
93.
present, ma'am.
ఇంకెవరమ్మా
Ma'am, B3 present, ma'am.
B not also, ma'am.
ఓకే
Ma'am, 71 present, ma'am.
ఓకే అమ్మా 71 ప్రెసెంట్ చేశాను సి హియర్ 78 90
అది పోయింది జూమ్ మీటింగ్
90 present, ma'am.
నెట్వర్క్
ఓకే B3 అమ్మా B1 and
Ma'am,
B3
B3 present, ma'am.
Ma'am, B1
Huh?
also present, ma'am.
B3 present, ma'am. B not present, ma'am.
B not B1 present, ma'am.
ఓకే సో ఎఫెక్టివ్ గా absent 78 and 90 అవునా
Ma'am, 90 present, ma'am. Unable to hear your audio.
ఓకే నౌ ఓన్లీ 78 is absent
Yes, ma'am.
please respond 78 is absent right what is your next period
B, ma'am. Ma'am, if we enter duplicate elements into a set, it will not show error, ma'am.
Yeah, it is not showing error. See, for
But
me also,
it will discard the duplicate, ma'am.
yes, it will discard the duplicate. So whenever I try to say I have taken a string s is equals to hello, and whenever I try to print that string in the form of a set, so whatever the duplication, that L is repeated, right? So that is represented in a, only the unique characters are represented whenever I try to represent it as a set. So for this program also, I did not get any error, but it is well, so whenever I try to print the values elements of the set, yes, so whatever the duplicates it has, so all these duplicates will be, it will be disabled, and only the unique elements will be displayed. $78 ఎవరమ్మా? So did everyone get your video to 20 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, only minutes is coming up. Python and Erlang.
A bit louder.
Only 14 minutes video, ma'am.
For you, you got only 14 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. I tried 3-4 times, but it's not crossing 14 minutes, ma'am.
Why? What is the problem? Do you have any problem with your topic?
Pandas,
What? What is your topic?
Pandas from that.
Your voice is not at all clear.
Pandas, ma'am. That link.
Still, can you text me?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Data handling.
Data handling. Okay, okay. Data handling in Python.
Yes, ma'am.
You can get so much information, right?
Yeah, it's about 20 slides, but I got only 14 minutes, ma'am. I tried 3-4 times. It's got in 14 minutes.
Okay, then in that case, you should be able to take some 2 or 3 images, and you should be able to explain it, so that whenever you try to explain an image, no, it will take more time, so that you can get around 2 to 3 minutes. You can manage that time.
But already uploaded, ma'am.
That?
Uploaded, ma'am, already.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. But next time, for this is for everyone. So whenever you feel you are not able to make up that time, so you should be able to take an image, so that you can, if you try to explain, no, so it will take around 2 to 3 minutes. You can cover that. Similarly, you can take one more image. Okay, it's over, no? From next time, yeah, yes, please remember that. If you are comfortable with any algorithm, no, you can explain that algorithm. మీకు మొత్తం 12 labs ఉంటాయమ్మా. Each lab for 20 marks. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. అందులో for each lab, I'll be awarding the marks for 20. So whatever the assignments you'll be giving, you will be doing on a weekly basis. In that 20 marks, 16 marks will be awarded for your programming. That means the way you have coded, the way you have written your write-up. Rest of the 4 marks, it will be given to your wife. Okay. So effectively, for 12 weeks, it will be 12 4s, 48 marks will be awarded for your wife. For all the 12 weeks. So it will be like an internal assessment, and this assessment will be done on a daily basis. So whenever I'll be asking you a question, you should be able to answer it. So depending upon your level of interaction, that 48 marks will be awarded for each and every one. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Please respond. So whenever there is a recap of the class, please before the class, you just go through the contents of the class so that it will be easier for you to answer in the class. Is that okay? So for every individual, 48 marks will be purely given on the basis of your interaction. Next period ఏంటమ్మా?
I'm BEE, ma'am.
Okay. Madam, join అవ్వలేదా? Shall I continue the class? Just ఒక చిన్నపాటి brief up. We'll go through what is a dictionary. So a dictionary happens to be one more data container. So a dictionary is always represented as a group of elements which are arranged in the form of key value pair. So all the elements of the dictionary, they are always arranged in the form of a key and a value. Okay, so a key value, it is always separated by a colon, and a dictionary is always represented with a set of curly braces. In a dictionary also, here you cannot use indexing or slicing with a dictionary. So whenever you want to access the contents of your dictionary, you should always access the contents of your dictionary using 3 types of methods. One is dict.keys, dict.values, and dict.items. So whenever you say the name of a dictionary dot keys, it will be displaying all the set of keys of the dictionary. Similarly, whenever you say dictionary dot values, it will be displaying all the set of values of the dictionary. And whenever you say dictionary dot items, so items is a method which is used to display all the contents of your dictionary. So the contents of the dictionary are always represented, they are always displayed in the form of key colon value. So all the pair of those key values will be displayed. Please observe here, keys should be always unique. You cannot duplicate the value of a key. Keys are immutable, whereas the values you can modify. So whenever you want to change the value of a key, the old key will be overwritten with the new key. So only the new key will be available. So similar to your tuples and lists, dictionary can also hold heterogeneous data type. Okay, so whenever you please remember, the keys of a dictionary are immutable, whereas the values can be modified. So whenever you try to edit the value of a key, you will get an exception, that is your type error, because keys are immutable. Whenever you want to change the content of your key, it will raise an error saying it's a type error. Let's look at the simple example of a dictionary here. D1 is a dictionary, name and age. These are my keys, and I am assigning the values Sachin and 30. Okay, please observe here, dictionary similar to your lists and tuples, it can hold heterogeneous data type. So name is, it is holding a string data type, and age is holding an integer data type. So I am trying to print the contents of my dictionary here. So this is first way of creating a dictionary. I can say D1 is equals to, whenever the interpreter encounters a set of flower braces, it implies that it is a dictionary. Otherwise, this is another way of creating a dictionary using DICT. Dict is a keyword followed by, see, please observe here, it is an open parenthesis, it is a closing parenthesis. Here I'm using is equal to instead of colon. So please, you should be able to identify this difference. So there are two ways of creating a dictionary here. So here, instead of using a colon here, whenever I make use of a dict keyword, I'll use an is equal to and comma. Am I clear? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
See here, so these are the two ways of creating a dictionary. So whenever I say D1 of salary here, so I can get, see here, I'm trying to modify the contents of the dictionary. So I'm trying to add, yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes, can I leave, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah, I'll leave.